Well, hey there folks, and welcome to TK Power Sports. This is the Can-Am Commander Max, and it's all about getting you, all of your friends, and all of your stuff into some gnarly places out in the woods. And that's exactly what we're going to see today. Just how much abuse can this thing handle, and how far can it take us? Well, make sure you stay tuned to find out. Alrighty folks, we're kicking this one off right in the thick of things. We're right at the deepest part of our hydroline trail, and there's tons of water right now. This is pure spring off-roading. It's about 10 degrees Celsius today. Everything is wet and muddy, and there is loads of water. Now, before I dump in here, let me hit you with two numbers right off the top which stand out to me. The first one, 13.5 inches of ground clearance. That is solid. Plus you're getting things like arched A-arms, and underneath of this thing is fully sealed up. So I love the skid plate package. But then the other number with this machine that stands out is a 120-inch wheelbase. That is a massive wheelbase. That's longer than a Jeep Wrangler. So yeah, it just gives you a sense for how big this unit really is, and those things are going to play a part in how it performs. And then the other thing you're about to see in action right now, the 30-inch XPS Hammer Force tires. I've got it in four-wheel drive, trail mode. Let's go. Oh man, there's so much water here right now. So the water is coming in to my floorboards down here. Oh yeah, it's coming through the doors, coming up through the drain holes. But so far, I mean, it's just creeping through. No issue. Oh, I got a slightly wet butt there. Oh wow, and as quickly as the water came in, it went right back out. So that was beautiful. That's what I was watching for. So yes, definitely came in quickly, but also drained out quickly. And I mean, it just creeped right through there. The tires felt like they had grip the entire time. No problem. Now I'm up here turning around, and all of a sudden, the 120-inch wheelbase plays a role. This thing is, I think the kindest word is, it's a little unwieldy on these tight trails, because it just does not want to turn, which is just a function of wheelbase. Now, of course, the reason why it's so long, well, it's twofold. First of all, you have to fit adults and a dump bed on here. But second of all, it's a bit of a Can-Am thing. Can-Am likes to take their wheelbases and really stretch them right to the corners of their machine. So this is not sort of unique to the Commander. You'll notice it on a lot of different Can-Am rigs. They like wheelbase. Through the swamp now, it's time to get some speed. And there's two things here I'm really feeling for. First of all, this thing has the Fox Podium QS3 suspension. Those are 2.5-inch shock bodies, and they have 14 inches of travel in the front and in the rear. And then on top of that, there's 100 horsepower coming from this V-twin. I've got it in high two-wheel drive sport mode. Foot to the floor. Let's feel the power. Not bad, not bad. Woo, she slides. So 100 horsepower, foot to the floor in this thing. It feels like just enough power for this unit. That's the right way to put it. It definitely doesn't feel sort of crazy turbocharged power. It feels, yeah, just well enough matched that you can get up, get some speed, and get going, but also not the kind of power that makes it feel dangerous or makes it feel like, yeah, you're going to get yourself into a lot of trouble really quickly. So I do appreciate the match here, although I'll be honest, I could actually use a little bit more power. I don't feel like I say that too often, but in a unit that's this big, this heavy, this long, yeah, the 100 horsepower here feels like just enough, and yeah, no more than is necessary. And the excitement continues. I'm gonna try to hit a little jump here. Now I can't get a huge run at it because you can maybe see out the window. It's really wet out here today. I'm already kind of into the swamp. But yeah, let's see if I can at least try to get the wheels off the ground a little bit. Let's go. Well, felt like my rear end got up there. But yeah, this kind of speaks back to the power thing. You know what, off the line, it goes okay, but it's not like, whoa, that's crazy power. The kind of power that you'd like to have if you're legitimately trying to jump something. So let me give her one more attempt, but I don't know if we're gonna get this big girl flying today. All right, attempt number 2 to fly, let's go. Oh, it's so muddy here. Okay, go, 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 go. Hello. Feels like I maybe got it up just a hair, but not that far. And I think the consensus here is now, could you jump this machine? Of course you could. You can jump anything. But I will just say that this is not the kind of machine that has the power and just the combination of things that makes it feel like it wants to jump, especially because it's so big. It feels like it likes to stay firmly planted to the ground. So that's where we will keep the wheels for the rest of this review. Okay, folks, now it's time to find out what the top speed is on this unit right here. I got a wide open empty road in front of me. Let's see what happens. High, 2-wheel drive, sport mode. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So folks, 75 miles per hour, and it did take a couple beats to kind of get up to 75, and then actually when it did hit 75, I could feel it is actually limited. You could feel the limiter come on, and it would not let me go quicker than that. So yeah, here on this unit today, 75 miles per hour, but definitely from about 67-ish to 75, it took a while kind of creeping up ever so slowly to that top speed. Now let's take a little break from the action and just look further at this thing, especially because this unit we have here is covered in accessories. So I already told you this is the Commander Max, but specifically it is the XTP, and the P makes it ready for rock crawling. So I told you 30-inch tires wrapped around 15-inch beadlock wheels. One of the biggest upgrades though for rock crawling is an actual selectable front locker. So you get front and rear lockers here, and you can actually hit that with a button inside. And yeah, that's important for rocks, and we will get to the rocks in just a little bit. Now, when it comes to accessories, you can see we have the full cab. So this is a real glass windshield, and you get a wiper up there, plus you get a sprayer. So yeah, I used it today because you come through the water, it hits the windshield, cleans it right off, which is nice. Now, you can see the cab here. It's just a soft cab, so you get the soft doors. It's a hot day out, so I rolled my window down, and then you can kind of latch it up. But if you don't want to do that, you can have the window up here for full protection. And these will protect you from quite a bit. Stuff flying, water flying up, and I do appreciate that. Again, in my day today, even when I was getting ready this morning, I looked at my gear and I was like, in this thing, I'm probably not going to get that dirty, so I don't need my regular dirty gear, and I do appreciate that. Now, coming around the backside, we have sort of a big positive and a big negative. The positive is this cab back here. If you are camping, let's say, overlanding, even if you're going fishing, hunting, something like that, it is pretty nice to have all your stuff out of the elements. Consider the fact maybe it's raining, maybe it's snowing. Well, back here, everything is covered up, and I like that. What I don't like is that this cab plus this adventure rack, it fixes hard up here to the roll cage, which means that you can't dump the bed anymore. One of the big reasons you even go for a Commander in the first place is because it's fun on the trail, it's really exciting to drive, but you're still getting a dump bed. So I really dislike that you lose the dump functionality when you get this adventure rack with this full cab on here. But outside of that, it is nice to have it to keep you out of the elements. And then last but not least, let me show you one other feature that has been added here. This is an accessory. We do have the optional JL audio system. And honestly, everybody, I'm of two minds on this thing. The first way is, you know what, it's pretty cool. Those speakers light up. I do love music. I do love listening to my music. And from that angle, yeah, it's kind of neat to have your tunes. On the other side, you know what? Do you really need to come out into the forest or the dunes and blast your music while you're just sitting there? It's not really what these machines are about. That's totally a personal preference though, because you know what? I can just report the facts. And the facts are this thing is seriously loud and seriously good sounding when you crank it up. Now, one other accessory we have which goes along really well with this cab is an optional heater inside. Now, today I don't need it. It's probably up by 15 degrees now, so it's really warmed up. But when we were running this thing closer to 0, having that heater on within 5 minutes on the trail, you are feeling the effects of it right away. And once again, it just adds the comfort to this machine. And these side-by-sides are more comfortable than they ever have been. So you can get out there into some gnarly conditions, stay totally dry, not muddy, and you're even heated. So in that way, I think all the accessories that Can-Am offers here, yeah, it just really brings along the luxury and the convenience that frankly people expect these days from their side-by-side. Okay, everybody, now I'm heading up the rock pile, so let's get this thing fully prepped. I've got it in low gear. We're gonna go front diff lock, rear diff lock, trail active mode. Actually, no, we need to be in trail mode to lock that front diff. You cannot be in active because trail active actually means the front diff is active, so it'll lock and unlock for you. I don't want that. I've got the front and rear locked up. I've got it in low range. And then you know what? This is even a situation where eco mode is probably better because it's going to make the throttle a little less jumpy, so I can modulate a little bit better. So here we go. Now, considering this thing is so ready for rocks, my little rock pile here shouldn't be a big deal for it. The only thing that might happen is a little bit of a breakover angle problem, once again, because the wheelbase here is so long. Long wheelbase when rock crawling can be good, can work against you. Right now it's nice because it's just creeping up here, no issue. Doesn't feel sketchy at all. Power feels good right about here. Actually, you know what? I think it just bumped the belly a tiny bit, but barely anything. And just like that, I'm down off my rock pile. Well, that felt really good. Nice to be able to lock everything up. Again, having the selectable front diff locker, very important for rock crawling. You wouldn't want that front diff to unlock or do something you didn't expect right at a bad moment. And then the other thing I really felt there, and I've been feeling all day, is low range here is extremely low. And I think it's trying to make up for the power. Because the power is not overwhelming and this unit is so big, low range really had to be geared down low. So when you're doing stuff like that, you can really access that power at the low speeds that you need it. So I appreciate how low range is. And when you're doing that stuff, it works great, but it is noticeably lower and therefore noticeably slower than some other units I've been in recently. But yeah, that just made my rock pile look like nothing at all. Okay, time to have some fun in that water now. So, fun mode engaged. Well, fun mode for me because I don't feel like getting wet and muddy today. Sometimes it is fun to be out there in the elements, but I'm getting older. I like to just sit in here and stay dry. So yes, fun mode engaged. My cab is sealed up. And I should mention, I've been rolling through this stuff, not even with the differentials locked. The grip from these tires is so good. It's just churning through the mud and the water. Yeah, baby, now we're getting some speed. Yeah, Commander. Get it. So good. Didn't need to carry any momentum through. Just point and shoot, and this thing goes exactly where you want it to go. Impressive in the mud, and it was impressive on the rocks. And that's definitely, again, what you want from this sort of machine. You want it to be good in every scenario, and so far it's been pretty dang good at just about everything we've done. Let's talk about the interior and ergonomics here in this Commander. So first of all, I fit pretty well in here. I'm over 6'2", 300 pounds, and I don't have an issue width-wise, height-wise, even with my helmet, loads of headroom. And then I do have an adjustable steering wheel along with an adjustable seat, which actually I always put all the way back, but it moves forward quite a bit. But at its full rearward position, yeah, I feel like this is really well suited to me. So if I fit, anybody should fit, which is good news. Now, talking about storage, over here in front of the passenger, you get this big deep storage bin. We got our whole drone set up in there and a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, nice to have that deep storage. Then you get this little, much smaller storage right up here in front of the driver. But once again, convenient to have all of these storage spots at hand. When we hit the trail these days, we bring so much stuff with us, so nice to have. One other feature I like to call it on Can-Ams, cup holders. All the brands have them, but Can-Am actually puts these rubber indents in here, and I really appreciate those because they're actually going to hold on to your drink rather than just letting it fly away. So yeah, in the front seat, ergonomically, everything feels good. My one big complaint, and you might have seen it from my GoPro angle, is this massive cowling up here that hides the wiper motor. This comes along with that front wiper, so if you want the wiper, you have to get it. And my first instinct when I sat in the machine was to start ducking like this. I'm constantly doing these to look at the trail in front of me, look at things up ahead, whatever the case may be. So yes, that is definitely annoying. If you don't need the wiper, I would recommend not going for it to save you that space and give you that line of sight. And now, one other issue that we've had, sadly, is my door. The driver's side door was closing okay this morning, but now just a few hours later of riding, it doesn't want to close. I have to lift and close, and you can feel it has just a little bit of slop, frankly. So yeah, that's not great. Now I want to tell you about the second row, but I'm actually going to go ride back there on the trail so I can tell you about it while we're actually out there moving along. Here I am in the back. So first of all, I fit pretty good, loads of headroom. The doors in the back feel slightly wider, so I do feel just a little more squished width-wise. Not that big a deal though, I still fit in here pretty well. If someone was next to me my size, we'd probably be rubbing elbows though. Now, handhold, you get this really nice one right in front of you. You can go out wide if you need to. I like having that. But maybe more importantly, because this one's kind of obvious, on the floor, I actually have angled foot pedals for both of my feet, and they really allow you to kind of dig in and brace yourself. So I appreciate this, and this is sort of why the machine is so big, why the wheelbase is so long. It's because a full-size or over more than full-size adult can sit here in the second row, and I could actually be comfortable for a full day's worth of riding. Now, the one other thing that jumps out at me sitting in the back is how noisy the powertrain is. This is not a quiet engine. And from the front, of course, you can hear it, but you're a little further away. Right now, I'm sitting right over top of it, and yeah, I can definitely hear it. And yeah, I would say over a 6 or 8 hour ride, the drone would become rather annoying to my ears for sure. Well, folks, we have come to the end of this one. Now, this is just our first taste of this Commander Max XTP. We just ran it here on our local trails today, but hopefully soon we'll get it out to some other trail systems and we will put it to the test fully loaded with people and stuff. For now, I can tell you that the technology and the gear added to this machine make it extremely capable in all scenarios, and that is exactly what these recreation utility machines are all about. They're about having a ton of fun on the trail and still being able to put in hard work, and this Commander feels like a really nice mix of both. So yeah, that's it for this one. Now I need to hear from you. What do you think of the Commander? What do you think of all the accessories, the cab, the windshield, the stereo? I want to hear your opinions on all of it, so drop in the comments now. Let me know your thoughts. While you're down below, don't forget to hit that like button, mash that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, and then come right back here to TK Power Sports to see what we're testing next. See ya.